It is April 29th. I just had to check that. April 29th, fellas. We're back in the studio. Kobe Manzo. We got Tyshawn King, Jimmy Martin with us, fellas.
Best back in the nation.
I'm excited. Best back in the nation. Tyshawn. I forget every time, bro. I forget every time to introduce you like that.
You gonna get it right.
I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna get it right, fellas. I'm excited to be in here tonight.
Me too.
Studio looks perfect.
As always, it was perfect.
Thank you.
Always,
you know what?
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But fellas, we've got an awesome episode coming up for the listeners and watchers. If you're watching us on YouTube today, our guest is Jack Gilchrist, redshirt freshman defensive lineman from Grand Valley State University. How about the conversation with Jack we have today? Hell of a conversation. Dude was fantastic. Just a good dude.
For sure.
Overall,
great kid.
Great kid. Other than that, after we talk to Jack, we will go on to talk about the draft. Round 1 of the NFL draft was last night. Round 2 is going on right now, correct? Rounds 2 and 3 tonight?
Yeah, round 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Let me get the approximate. We on Falcons on the clock.
Okay, Falcons on the clock. We don't know what pick.
What are we like? Are we round 3 now? Or is it
round 2, pick 26.
Okay.
Falcons on the clock.
Okay.
So
getting towards the end.
We're going to talk about round 1 of the draft more so tonight because we have all that information. There were some huge trades on draft night that we're going to cover, fellas. A.J. Brown, Hollywood Brown are the two that we really want to focus on. Are there some other ones that you...
I think it was 9 trades.
9 trades. I'm talking about big player trades, though. Players,
but
yeah.
I think that's the most trades in a round.
It was interesting, man.
NFL history,
it was interesting. The Lions got a big one that we're going to have to talk about. And we'll talk about who did the best, at least from our standing on draft, and to break down the Lions draft for you guys. But and another thing that I want to talk about draft night-wise is who had the best draft night fit, whose outfit made the biggest splash, biggest impression. So we've all got our picks for that. And fellas, you guys actually picked the same guy, which kind of sucked. I made you pick another one.
I picked him first,
so
it's okay.
It's okay. You're still confident with
I went back and you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
I just forgot. Because that was my favorite player in the whole draft, you know? So it's easy for me to say that. No. Jameson Williams.
Oh, Jameson was. Okay, then you went. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then I went back, I'm like, nah, Shorty was sauced up. Sauce was sauced up. And y'all gonna see. For sure. We got to do a poll. Who do you think? Yeah,
we're going to have to do a poll on who had the best draft night fit, so stick around for that. And finally, the Giants have declined Daniel Jones' 5th-year option on his contract, so he it's really going into a prove-it year for himself in New York. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do with him. Do or die is definitely the way to put it. But, Jimmy, what's with the sunglasses on tonight, pal? Can you break me through what is the thought process with the sunglasses? What are you doing? You look kind of like a doofus with the sunglasses.
I'm making a fashion statement today. You know, I was picking out my outfit. I got my Devin Booker jersey on. You know, I wouldn't consider myself a Suns fan, but me and my buddies at home, we always did like a jersey exchange. And,
okay.
Shout out to Michael Slepsky if you're listening. He got me this jersey.
Shout out Mike.
You
kind of look like a doofus with the sunglasses on.
You know,
you just take it.
Yeah, you know, I kind of like them. I'm rocking with them. I think they match my shirt pretty well, actually. So
I think they match all right too, actually.
Yeah.
I think they match pretty well.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes it gets bright. These lights are bright.
Oh, the lights are very bright.
I can't blame you.
They're coming in handy right now.
Sure, y'all look like some clowns with glasses on.
We look like
inside.
clowns.
It's like 9 o'clock.
We look like clowns right now.
Y'all like some clowns.
These lights are bright.
No.
I ain't trying to none of that, dude. It's 9 o'clock at night. Y'all got on glasses.
I wear my sunglasses at night so I can.
I don't know none of that.
No copyright intended.
I don't got no recollection of nothing y'all talking about.
Ty was not rocking with. We pitched the idea before the pod. Ty was not rocking with it. Ty, you can't get in on a little sing along, bro. What's up with that?
Slime, I don't know none of that.
That's all right.
I wear my sunglasses at night because I can.
So
and that record probably 9 times platinum.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Probably. Not by you. Not by your doing.
I don't know who sings it, but it's just an iconic song.
Exactly.
Bro.
Never heard of that.
It is, bro.
Oh,
but
come on.
Fellas,
yeah,
as
but
always.
hold on. You just hear what Ty John said?
What'd he say?
He said he never heard the Sunglasses at Night song before I sang it today. That's a lie. You're lying to us right now, bro.
I swear on my Lord.
All right, bro. All right.
As always, everyone, you can watch this episode on YouTube. If you just saw that our little gag with the sunglasses. So check us out on YouTube at Division 1 Rejects. But otherwise, you can listen pretty much anywhere. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it. Follow us on Twitter at D1 Rejects and on Instagram at Division 1 Rejects. Fellas, big piece of news for us, too. If you are watching on YouTube, we've got timestamps. Ty, you might be asking, what are timestamps?
Man, that's professional. That's real life. You get to what you want to see.
Exactly.
If y'all coming on here to only see us talk about the draft, you got that.
You can go to the draft. If you look in our YouTube description, they got timestamps where all the conversation is. You go right to the conversation you want to hear.
You know my boy Jack, he finna tell his mom and his daddy that he was on Division 1 Rejects. And if they want to, they could go on YouTube.
They can fast forward.
Only watch the interview and get up out of here.
All right.
Shout out to Gilchrist. We love him.
Yeah.
Shout out
to Jack.
Shout out to Gilchrist.
So
we we more professional. We get it together. You know what I'm saying? We get it together.
What were you saying, Jim?
So video-wise, actually, we're not only on YouTube. So I was actually on Spotify the other day. Our video is on Spotify.
You are correct about that. Yeah. So our Spotify, the video actually does get transcribed onto Spotify now. So you can watch our podcast on Spotify. If you are listening, just pull open the app, and you'll have our sweet smiling faces on Spotify as well.
And I would recommend to the audience to just flip the phone this way, horizontal.
You're gonna get a better picture. The camera's on you now. Do the motion again. The camera's on you now.
You're gonna have to go from like here to get it to like that.
Landscape, from portrait to landscape. I like it.
Just turn the phone sideways. I don't know why dude got to doing all that with it. Hey, just turn the phone sideways.
I was just making sure.
Look, here you go. Turn the phone from here.
Like it. Like
to here.
Yep. That's where you're gonna get the best picture.
Fellas, we can get right into this one. But before we do get into all that exciting NFL draft talk, let's get right into this interview with our boy Jack Sparrow. Joining us now is a redshirt freshman defensive tackle at Grand Valley State. It's Jack Gilchrist. Jack, brother, good to have you on here, man. Seriously, good to have you back on here. I should say you're one of our first guests, man.
Yeah. I'm like Coach Burton now. I'm a reappearing guest.
Yeah, now you're consecutive. Now when we had Burton on, the Saginaw Valley was offensive line coach, co-offensive coordinator. I gave him the title of friend of the show. I'll extend to you the same opportunity.
That sounds good. Listen to it, so I'll take it.
Friend of the show, Jack Gilchrist. All right, I'm set with that. Now I gotta ask, Jack Sparrow. That's the Instagram name right now. Is that an actual go-to nickname for you? What's that all about?
No, I just thought it was cool because I like Pirates of the Caribbean, but justice for Johnny Depp. You know what I'm saying?
We're with that here, right? We with the Johnny Depp case. We following along with that, fellas?
I was, you know what I'm saying? I ain't with nobody that would be no women. But like as I see the case, like I don't know what she was talking about.
I don't know.
So now Team Johnny Depp. At first when it came out, you know what I'm saying?
There we go. Hey,
you gotta side with women.
He came around.
But now I'm Team Johnny.
I like that. Now, Jack, another thing too, I'm looking on the Zoom here. And, of course, I do my research before these episodes. And some of these pictures, you've got the more recent ones, you've got the buzz. But you're rocking the flow for a little bit. What happened? What was the mindset? What changed? When did we get rid of the long hair?
Oh, yeah. I don't know where you're finding these pictures at, but that's funny. But, yeah, you're definitely, yeah. So when I first showed up on the campus, like even through that summer, I don't even know, but I definitely was going for the long hair to look older when I first got there.
Okay.
Probably. And then in that first spring ball, I was just the hair was just getting in the way. And I actually had a play where my headband came down in my hair and I couldn't see. And I got absolutely reamed by our D-line coach. And so I was like, yeah, that's it. So then I just went home that weekend and I told my mom, like, do whatever you want. And so she just gave me this hair. Yeah, it looked horrible. It was bad.
That's awesome, dude. I mean, that was it, huh? You got on the play. The hair was the cause of it. Went home. Mom is the go-to barber then?
No. She found some clippers in the bathroom.
but she did the cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad, man.
That is awesome, dude. And we've talked a little bit, but I guess going back over year one, tell me what year one, because we're the same class and not having that COVID year. Tell me what year one on the field was like for you at GV, I guess, in kind of a short summarized way. How would you describe it?
Well, yeah, no, I've listened to the other podcasts where you guys talking about like now we're starting to be the older guys, and it's funny, like it's true.
Yeah.
I've been talking with other people about that, but it was cool, man. You fight your way up. You try and beat people out or whatever you got to do to climb the depth chart, and before you know what you're playing. And it was cool. It was like getting thrown into a blender, but it did go by fast. But it was cool. It was good to be a part of it, and had a lot of older guys as part of that D line. So it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I feel you. And that number of snaps for you and those number of plays you're making, I expect all that's just going to go up. How do you see your role increasing in that D line room?
Yeah, well, we've had some guys leave, and regardless of where you're at in D line, like if you play or you're in the 2 deep, like
yeah,
I would assume it's for most places like this in the black. Sure. You just rotate, and so like
much like a position like running back. Not to cut you off, but running back is a lot like that. Depending on the scheme, you might have different guys for different situations. I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
there's some packages you guys that will you'll roll in there.
Oh yeah. So we would, I didn't start, but like it'd be like they get a first down and like you're in anyways. So the starter thing is just a title at that point.
Yeah, no, 100%. Going into this offseason then for you, what's a part of your game you're looking to elevate, take to the next level that's going to get you some more PT and some more snaps come fall?
Well, one thing has always been like my flexibility. So that's always been a piece that I think goes for a lot of guys. So that like, but for me, yeah, that's been a big thing. It always has, and improving that. And then I've also like, maybe I started the year last year at 275, but now I'm walking around like 292. Dang. And so through spring ball, like it's been good to be able to play with that and not lose at that weight. So that's been something I've been doing. So
no, for sure. And I've actually because we're gonna have a bunch of guys up here this summer in Marquette, and I'm trying to get a yoga instructor to come out and do some sessions with the team, because I think that'd be a sweet piece too.
Come on, I need it all.
Add, right? That's what I'm saying.
I'm the most flexible person on the team. I could book it right now.
I disagree.
I could book it right now.
I disagree, Ty. I think I got you.
You got some, Jim.
So you guys know like in like middle school, like high school, you do like a seated reach test.
Yeah, my muscles too big for that. Everything else.
Oh no, okay. So seated reach, I was the top of my class every year doing that. Like the little, like you put your legs out and you go like this. That was always like my best thing. I don't know.
I can
touch some weird little like talent I have. I guess
I can touch the ground with my hands standing up with my palms.
Yeah, me too. Let me see. Want to see?
Do it right now.
That's
and then I'll follow.
Here we go.
I can go under my feet. I can go like this.
No bend. Come on, I'm right there with you.
No bend. No bend. We're both flexible guys.
Come on, dap it up. We got after we argue it out, we dap it up here. We dap it up.
Jack, me boy. So, you know what I'm saying? You've been there for a COVID year and you've been there for a regular season. What's the biggest difference that you see coming out of your first spring ball and coming out of this spring ball for not only yourself, but for the team?
One thing you talked about, like I think it was Kobe talking about it, but one thing that was like different or like it was cool was like the hotel and the traveling aspect is like
for sure.
It's just different. You don't have that when you're at the building every day. Like you're in the locker room, which is cool, but like when you're traveling, you have hotel assignments and you're with different guys. That aspect is super fun, and then actually having to perform to where practice, but like the game is putting it on the line, so it's just cool in that way.
Yeah. That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Now, you talked a little bit about what you're up to this offseason and what you're doing to get yourself on the field more, get yourself some more opportunities. As a program, what does that look like for you guys heading into the summer in Allendale for you guys? What are you guys around each other a lot, I'd imagine? What does that look like for you guys?
So yeah, we just wrapped up spring ball as most programs did, I think 2 weeks ago, give or take. And so now we're on like a summer break. So I'm back home. Guys stay up there and work jobs. It really depends on what you want to do, what your leasing situation looks like, where you're living. But I know the whole team will return late June to get going on like the summer conditioning test, and then back into summer workouts and stuff like that.
I got you. So now, Jack, I got a theoretical situation for you. All right. You're getting drafted for sure. Like, you're probably, let's say, top 5, right? You're going to the draft, right? I'd imagine you're going to the draft. You're showing up.
Sure.
Okay. Say you're going to the draft. What is the fit looking like for you going across the stage? Go-to fit on draft night on the spot. What is the go-to? You playing it down? You playing it cool? Are you flashy with it?
Nah, I mean, Aiden Hutchinson's fit was pretty cool, and I've seen some cool ones, but I've also seen some whack ones, like, different ones. But I'm not playing it off. I'd probably go base suit, and I'd probably rent it too, just to save money.
That's awesome. That's because we're going to talk later about who had the best fit on draft night. Is Hutch a contender for the top fit for you?
Yeah, his was pretty cool with like the inner lining and stuff. He had the I think he had a cool watch on and maybe something else. I don't know. Different people had some pretty cool jewelry though.
Yeah, I feel you, brother. I feel you.
Hey, so Jack, I got a question for you. This is Jimmy over here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm sure you guys got your schedule. What's the one game you're like most looking forward to this year?
I mean, probably any answer other than Ferris would be wrong.
Yep.
But
That's what I was expecting.
For sure. No,
Yeah.
that's respectable, dude. Especially after the games that or the game, yeah, 2 games. I forget because playoffs and then actually the regular season, which you guys hosted them. But that'll be at Ferris in the regular season this year, correct?
Yeah.
So get to go into their house, coming off of their national championship, their undefeated season, and potentially dethrone the champs. That'll be an exciting one, I guess. Another thing I wanted to ask you was we're watching the draft right now. And you're coming from a program that has produced some draft talent at Grand Valley. Now, I'd have to assume that you're playing with some guys right now you think could make that jump. Do you look around when you're playing on that D line like, this dude's legit? Like, he's a player, he's an athlete. Like, you could actually see these guys making that transition and that jump to the next level?
Yeah, everyone would like to think so. Like, it depends. We definitely had some guys next year. Who knows as we go. Moving on what guys are trying to do with different, job opportunities and stuff like that. I know we had last year 2 guys that are, they're who knows in those later rounds, but they're probably, not expecting to hear their name called.
Yeah.
They're just looking for that call afterwards. And, there's 2 guys from the D-line room, Dennis Johnson and then Jake Lava, defensive end and defensive tackle, who, they were solid. They're older guys, and they're both freak shows athletically, and they're definitely. I mean, they're hoping for that call. But outside of D line, there's like our tackle. I think that's what people say is that Quentin Barrow, our tackle, he was Ugliac. 77, and dude is, the largest human I've ever been around. You put him in cleats and a helmet, and he's probably 6'8", and I know last summer he weighed like 340. I don't know what he weighs now, but dude's huge. So I think he could definitely be one to go for sure.
I got you. That is wild, dude. That's like when you see, I guess a sport for me always is like hockey players, right? Like hockey players put the skates on, they put the pads on, like the big pants and everything. And these guys look massive. Then they come off the ice and you're like, I was watching a different team. Like that ain't the same team. But they're that big though. Like there's no drop off, right? Like he's still that same dude in the weight room and all around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Who's the guy, speaking of weight room, who's the guy on the team that is your weight room guy? Like who just puts up absolutely insane numbers? Do you have one of those guys that stands out at GV?
It really would have been like last year it was Dennis, to where like he's like 450 on bench. Like it just like it looks so natural. Like that's just how he looks when he's squatting or doing whatever. He's a freak, and you can, I'll see him box jump. I don't even know what, but stuff like that. And there's also kids, a kid in my grade, Elias Valdez, who's another defensive tackle with me. Gotcha. He's always trying to. I think he squatted like 6. He's just like got. He may not be Dennis where he has a certain high number, but like all of these is deadlift 6, squat 6, like different, all high. He's a big weight room dude.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Now, Grand Valley, a little bit different in Northern than the fact you guys are what, over 25,000? How big is Grand Valley total? Like undergrad, I guess.
It might be around there. It might be 22.
Okay.
I could be thinking of a different number, but it's somewhere in there.
Yeah. Now, do you feel like the energy on that campus, and I don't know how many like times, I'm sure you've been to, because you're from around the Lansing area, so I'm sure you've been to like a couple Michigan State tailgates, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah.
For sure. So now the energy on campus on Grand Valley, obviously you're not tailgating the games, like you're getting ready to play, but like that energy on campus, I imagine is pretty close to like a D1 energy of like people getting ready to go fill up Lubber Stadium. What is that like?
Yeah, it's cool. It like when the parking lots are full, like family day, and different ones of the Ferris game, the parking lot was full, and the campus was buzzing. But there are certain games, when the weather's iffy, people might not show up as much, but or there could be a ton of people in there to start the game, and the score could be a difference of 20, and people are bouncing in the second half. So it's up there for sure, though, when it's really going, like the Ferris or Northwood was another big one where it is up there for sure.
70-9.
Yeah. So, okay, I need you to verify something for me here. I heard from a source, which was my buddy Drew, who plays on Northwood, that you guys, when you score, you shot fireworks on then a homecoming night, right?
No, that's all. It's all
games?
All the games. Yeah.
So, okay, I heard from my boy that when you played Northwood, you guys ran out of fireworks.
Oh, I don't know. It very well could be true because typically at the end of the game, if we win at the end of the game, they'll just shoot them all. Like
They
I
send
think
all of them.
they send all the ones that they have left. I couldn't verify that, but it
No,
could
you're
be
locked
true.
in. You're locked in. I respect it. You're not worried about no fireworks show during the game.
No, it's cool, but like you're not. No,
No,
yeah,
100%, 100%. But yeah, what was the final score? That was close. It was close to 70, right? Was it actually 70?
They scored 70.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
It was 70.
So at what point in the
That's
game? So they got 9 points. I'm assuming it was a missed extra point, touchdown, and a field goal.
Jimmy, microphone there. There you go.
So how did they get 9? Because was there any point where they kicked a field goal? Why would you ever kick a field goal when it's a 70-point game? Well, how did they get 9? You remember?
I'm not sure. They might have. I honestly couldn't remember, but I know they scored on their first drive, and I was like, oh, like let's go, like it's actually about to be like a real like let's go like type of atmosphere and game. But then I don't know. I honestly don't even know what happened after that. It just the floodgates
It
opened.
escalated quickly.
Yeah.
That's wild, dude. That's
Yeah,
wild. I
it was-
mean, and you guys have the
it was
talent
bad.
to do that. Like when you played a team like Lindenwood in that first round, and I watched that game, and Lindenwood, who now is going on to play at the Division I level, they had. I mean, they call themselves Windenwood, which is a little conceited. Like we can agree, right? That's a little much. But like they had a solid squad. They were the GLVC champions, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, so conference champion coming out of there from a conference that's not as strong, I would say, as our conference, definitely. But still,
Right.
being a conference champion at our level is a big deal. And for you guys to go out there and you dismantled them. Like, the score was not really indicative to me of the type of game that was. It was a little bit deceiving.
Mhm.
I felt like you guys just tore them apart, to be honest.
Yeah, no, for sure. They didn't really get much going on offense. They were down. I think they were down to like their, they probably limped to get there. Like just trying to make it. Like I think they might have been down to like their third quarterback, who was
That's right,
who
yeah.
was a wide receiver. He came in as a quarterback when he got recruited, but then he went to wide receiver, and then at that point they needed him for a quarterback. And their other quarterback was, I think, a Harlan Hill. Is it called the Harlan Hill like finalist?
The Harlan Hill finalist,
Yeah.
like the D2 Heisman type, yeah.
Yeah, so he was solid, but they were just like they were down bad at that point, and they had some other playmakers like a tight end, Clint Sig, and
Yep.
that they had some other playmakers, but they just couldn't figure it out with that quarterback. I
I
don't
didn't know the
think.
quarterback was that one quarterback at least was a Harlan Hill candidate. That's awesome. But
The one they
Yeah.
started the year with.
that's wild, dude. But otherwise, Jack, that's all I've got for you, brother. I can't say how much we appreciate you coming on, man. This time blows by when we get guys like you on here. It's been fun talking with you.
Yeah, it was quick. It was cool, man. I'm glad to be a part of the show, and it's cool to keep listening. So I definitely will be.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Jack Gilchrist, Jack. Thank you so much, brother. You're the best. I'll see you.
Yeah, no problem, see you, man.
Great conversation with our guy Jack. Hell of a man. Those conversations fly by when you get good guests on here, don't they? Like you
Feel me?
seriously, we're like 17 minutes into that, 15 some minutes into that, and I'm like, shoot, like I'm not trying to take all a dude's night. You know what I mean?
I am. If they talking good stuff, man, you might as well let them ramble.
No, yeah, he's not a ramble guy too, which is nice because sometimes you get those guys, right?
We ain't
get
gonna.
'em.
We love everybody we bring on here, so we ain't gonna.
No, we
expose
do
nobody.
100%. But it's easy
Everybody
to-
love everybody.
Jack's just an easy guy to talk to. And we
You know?
appreciate him.
That was smooth. A lot of people.
What does that mean?
Yeah, you had a couple guys. You had a couple guys come on and just
Kobe, you know.
yeah. Kobe knows.
All right, fair enough. But fellas, draft recap. Day one of the NFL draft. LA hosted this year's draft. It did not disappoint.
No, they
but
didn't.
Per usual.
Fact check. Las Vegas hosted the
Vegas.
draft this year.
LV, not LA. I'm sorry about that. That's not me.
I forgive you.
Per usual, the first round didn't look anything like anyone's mock drafts, and I love it. I hate mock drafts. I hate what they've become. Why are we previewing the draft 2 months in advance? Nobody knows who's going to pick who. And if you watched, shout out Pat McAfee's draft spectacular show. They had Chris Ballard on there. They had Cliff Kingsbury on there from the war rooms of their respective teams. Fellas, I don't think the coaches and GMs and the people in the building know who they're picking until the time comes. Right?
That's cap.
I really believe that. I think you have a board. A lot of teams have a board of guys they like, and it just depends on the situation where guys fall.
I think today, But like the Jaguars, like all right.
I mean,
say
okay,
this.
top
this
five,
year,
top
this
five,
year,
sure.
maybe, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I heard that the Jaguars really didn't know if they wanted Walker or Hutchinson. But like last year, like why did it take the Jaguars 4 minutes to send, you know what I'm saying, Goodell out there to say that they wanted Trevor Lawrence?
That's a good question.
They knew that.
I have no idea.
The Jets knew that the Jaguars weren't taking Trevor Lawrence and that they were getting, like, they know that.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
this
100%.
year, I can say, all right.
It kind of went all over the place.
But you have an idea of the guy that you want.
Yeah, no, 100%. You're right. And but for me, for those top picks, it seems like it makes a lot of sense. But as we get down in the draft there, I really think these guys it's very situational based. And with especially the one thing we're going to talk about today too is the amount of trades that went on, right, Ty? And I think when you add the trades into the mix and see what that does to the overall equation, I feel like then we're going to get into some situations where guys start really shaking up the order, and you're going to send a lot of these war rooms into like a little bit of almost a panic, not a panic, but like we got to make a decision. Oh shit, like we have to do something right now.
Like that happened to the Eagles yesterday.
Yeah, 100%.
I guarantee
Great
the
example. Great
Eagles
example.
traded up to draft Jamison Williams.
Really? You think
I
so?
guarantee it.
And then just didn't work out.
The Lions took
Yeah,
him.
that's what I'm saying.
Pick
Just didn't
before.
work out. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's interesting. We'll talk about the Lions draft a little bit. They have second overall pick. Lions get the my audio is peaking here for some reason. The Lions get the hometown kid, Aiden Hutchinson, with the number 2 overall pick. Then they trade up for Jameson Williams, obviously the wide receiver out of Alabama, at pick number 12. They were originally going to have pick number 32. Now they traded away pick number 32, pick number 34, and a 4th-round draft pick, if I'm not mistaken, to go up and get Jameson Williams at number 12. Guys, this team is not drafting like a team that needs to rebuild, to me. No. They're drafting like a team who needs weapons for sure, but what team doesn't? And that's very exciting for me because that shows that's not the mindset in Detroit right now.
You see, Detroit got 2 of the most exciting positions, like a really good pass rusher and a playmaking wide receiver.
And spots they needed.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the Lions don't have a great defense. I mean, Tyshawn.
No. By any means,
Tyshawn be able to tell me more about who's on the Lions defense than I would, but
Lions got a solid D.
It's always good. It's always good to add a really good edge rusher, and they got a guy, Hutchinson. I was personally surprised they didn't take Thibodeau.
As was I.
Or Thibodeau, however you pronounce it.
Thibodeau's right.
Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I
knew he was going to fall.
I love the Jameson Williams pick. I like that a lot. I mean, how do you not like that pick? I mean, it's Jameson Williams. I mean, there's this one route in particular I saw. It was against Georgia. It was like a vertical route. It was like a stutter kind of. He broke it at about like 15 yards. He like stopped and he just went. It was like a little hesitation. He just blew by the Georgia defenders, caught the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, did they play that? Did they play that when he got drafted? I want to say.
I think so.
I
I think that was like the first clip they showed because I mean that was just like the wild play, and then he's just got mind-boggling speed too. He came out with a statement. He said he would have broken the record for the 40 at the draft if he ran his 40, but he didn't
because of the ACL injury.
He didn't run. Yeah.
Showed you a real life flyer.
Yeah. Cade Manzo, Kobe's little brother. He compared him to Tyreek yesterday. So
Cade did?
Yeah.
No, he ain't Tyreek.
That's what I said.
I
think it wasn't a horrible comparison, but I think there's a different kind of guy who'd.
He more Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, that sucks for Henry Ruggs.
To you guys then, who won the draft yesterday? Was there one team that stood out above the rest that really had a solid draft? Was there one team that like shit the bed? Like who for you guys, just looking at the draft yesterday and looking at the picks, who stood out? Who was at the bottom of the totem pole?
My favorite, Baltimore was like the one team that was like, okay, wow, these guys really made like because I think they fleeced the Cardinals. Because listen, like, Hollywood Brown, Marquise Brown, they got a first round pick for him, didn't they? Is that?
They got the 23rd pick.
Yeah,
and
23rd
they traded
overall.
back.
I think that Marquise Brown is not worth a first round pick. That's just my opinion. Because
agree.
everyone's always saying,
agree.
everyone's like, oh, Lamar never has weapons. He never has any weapons. Like obviously they traded him away.
Yep.
Who's going to be catching balls for Baltimore?
That is a great question.
Rashad Bateman, the kid from Minnesota. I think he's going to have a great career. They got to go out and
Duvernay.
They got to go out and get receivers.
Duvernay.
They got to make a move for a
They
receiver.
do still have Mark Andrews.
They run the ball.
Man's been around for
J.K.
a
Dobbins
minute.
coming back. Gus Edwards coming back. Lamar Jackson still got working legs.
We were talking. I was on a conversation with someone the other day about, if you had to put money on, which I'm not talking about gambling here. I'm just saying theoretically, if you had to put money on someone to be the comeback player of the year, I think you have to throw Dobbins into that conversation. Would you agree with that? I think as he got more reps and got more experience, he became a utility tool for that Ravens offense. I think he fits in perfectly.
I don't think he will.
Really? Akers could win it.
They got too much. Akers came back already. It's over with.
But I feel like only for the playoffs though, right? Like I don't think
he played. I think he played like 2 regular season games too.
It did. He did.
He came back like early.
So he can't be in that conversation.
I wouldn't put him in that conversation. And Dobbins, it's too much. He won't get enough volume.
Okay.
Because Lamar still got to run the ball and Gus Edwards still got to run the ball. And at some point, they have to throw the ball.
They do.
So,
or else Lamar's going to go back to being called a running back.
I think Lamar Jackson is definitely leaving Baltimore now, though.
Really? He
will.
will. Okay, so I will say
before we, I didn't even get to get my answer.
Go for it.
I think the Jets had the best first round of the draft.
Fair. Tell me why.
There was no best corner. It was, you couldn't miss with Derek Stingley.
I was going to say Stingley seemed to be head and shoulders.
Or Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner.
I feel like you couldn't miss with either one.
No, that's true.
So you got, corner 1B in the draft. You got wide receiver 1, in my eyes, at pick 10. And then you got a player that truly should have won in the top 10 at like pick 26 in Jermaine Johnson. Mm-hmm. They won the first round.
Jets definitely made some big moves, right? Jets were, to me, definitely one of the top teams. Now, I've seen some articles come out about Zach Wilson and how he's looking coming into year 2. The funny quote for me was that he has more swag, his teammates say, coming into year 2. If you're not watching on YouTube, I just threw up some nasty air quotes because I don't know what more swag means. Is that just it's just a confidence thing, right? It has to just be a confidence thing. Is that as big of a deal as people are making it out to be?
It for sure.
Especially at quarterback.
Every day I walk out of practice, swagger. I got the most swagger on the field. I'm walking around like I'm untouchable.
That's the only way to go about it.
I love it.
That's
the only way to go about
it.
You,
big.
You got to walk in there, head high, shoulders back, like you're the fucking man. Or sorry, like you're the man. Like sorry.
Cut it. We got to cut the whole thing.
We'll bleep it. We'll bleep it.
Especially at quarterback. Quarterback is a confidence position. You have to have confidence. You can't play. Simple. It's simple.
You guys will remind me to go back and do that little
edit. I was just speaking from the heart there. We got to
keep Jimmy censored on this boy.
Speaking from the heart there.
No, it's okay, but fella, we'll talk about a little bit of the big trades on draft night that we saw. One of them, I guess we'll start with it already, was Hollywood Brown to the Cardinals. He reunites with college quarterback Kyler Murray, played together at Oklahoma. And the Ravens, like you said, Jimmy, they got Arizona's first-round pick in return for Brown. Brown, an interesting thing about him is that he's in the final year of his rookie contract. We've seen this with a lot of players. Daniel Jones, who we're talking about earlier, is in a very similar situation now that they did not opt to take his fifth-year extension. The Ravens obviously didn't think he was worth keeping around, right? Getting rid of him in that fashion. And him and Lamar were pissed. They were super vocal about it, too. You're shaking your head. What are you shaking your head about?
Marquise Brown asked for a trade weeks ago, and they kept it on the low.
But that's not what it sounds like. You look at
Twitter. He was tweeting like, "I wish
mad.
I could play with Lamar."
He's trying. Yeah, he was talking like he wanted to play with Lamar forever. But
I mean, sure, he wanted to play with Lamar forever, but he didn't like the offensive coordinator.
No, we knew that because it went back to the tweet of like he said something along the lines of, and I'm going to totally butcher this, but why you got soldiers if you ain't even going to use them?
Yeah,
yeah, you remember that tweet?
So he asked for a trade like weeks ago,
you think
and
so?
Lamar,
So is this all for show then? All of this stuff?
No.
Right
Lamar is for sure pissed.
Yeah,
he wished they didn't trade him, but Marquise Brown asked for a trade, and he didn't get on Twitter like, "Oh my God, why y'all trade me? Y'all so bogus." He just said he wished he could play with Lamar forever. He probably mean it.
That's true, but I don't know. I guess I kind of see that
Kobe,
both ways.
How was he in Arizona last night?
They got private jets, dude. Private jets.
Kobe.
They're flying people all over the country, man. What are you talking about?
He been working out with Kyler Murray the whole offseason.
Has he? You know that for a fact?
Come on, man.
What do you mean, come on?
Kobe.
I don't know that. I'm not locked in like that.
I'm locked. I know football. I watch football.
You watch off-season football?
I do this.
Yeah, he's also Marquise Brown's Tyshawn's cousin. They're actually really good friends. They call each other all the time, and that's why Tyshawn knows all that.
He been working out with
How the hell do you know that?
Come on, bro. I can't reveal my secrets.
Bro.
He been working out with Kyler Murray the whole offseason.
All right, bro.
He was at the Cardinals
some
draft
conspiracy
party.
Theory,
he was at their draft party last night. And I don't care what you say, Kobe. You talking about private jets. They didn't announce the trade until the draft. He was
already there. You're saying he
there.
He didn't need a jet.
Baltimore? From Baltimore, Maryland to Arizona?
That's probably like a 5-hour flight. I mean, that's almost coast to coast.
That is almost coast to coast. You talking about private jets. What he flying in? The Millennium Falcon? You talking about private? Come on, man. This was something they had set up long time ago. He knew he was going to Arizona. That's just something they kept on they just wanted to make it seem feisty for draft night.
That's good. No, I like that. And if that's the case, maybe that'll come out, right? Maybe we'll figure that out because we got a lot of people in the NFL that'll find out information like that. And I'd like to see that if that does come out. Now, the other huge trade right on draft night was A.J. Brown to The Eagles, 4 years, $100 million. They've signed him now with 57 guaranteed. A.J. Brown was in a much similar situation to Hollywood Brown in that he was in the last year of his rookie contract. We talked about him last week with Deebo Samuel, with the likes of Terry McLaurin, for the Commanders. I got it right this week. Let's go. We talked about those guys because they were all in the same draft class entering the last year of their rookie deals, and that's when guys typically get paid, especially if you've been producing like those guys have. A.J. Brown, he goes to the Eagles. Titans don't feel like holding on to him. To me, that just screams, we don't think you're worth the money that you're about to get.
Poverty franchise.
With the exploding market that is the wide receiver culture right now, that's what it comes down to, poverty franchise.
It's over with. Derrick Henry only got, I say, two like all-pro seasons of him left. They could have gave A.J. Brown $100 million with $57 million guaranteed.
I totally agree.
That's a little bit over half of the contract guaranteed.
Yeah.
And just, you feel me, give the rest. They don't have any young players that they have to pay. None.
And I guess the one thing about it is that they did it somewhat smart in that right after the trade, they draft Treylon Burks directly afterwards, who he's not A.J. Brown. Right? He has not proven himself in this league. We don't know what Treylon Burks is going to be like, but we do know he was a dog in college.
You just put a target on that young man back.
That is kind of a problem, right? You think about that because he's now, whatever the start of his career is going to be immediately associated with that trade. And
well, A.J. Brown did this in his first 4 games. And Treylon Burks.
Treylon did he didn't amount.
And before we say this, the Cardinals are not going to pay Marquise Brown. No. I wanted to get that out before we.
It's on record now.
They're not going to. He's going to be a free agent next season.
You think so?
They still got to pay Kyler Murray.
Is Kyler for sure staying?
Kyler said he won't play another game if he doesn't get an extension.
He did say that?
His agent really inferred it. He won't.
I'm saying I did not hear that, but I'll take your word for it though. I'll take your word for it though.
We can bet on it if you want to.
I don't know.
We could go. We could do it like like Skip and Shannon. We could bet Powerade waters.
Okay, word.
Essentials.
Word, we'll think about it. I'm betting essentials. I know you play serious about those.
Yeah, I'm going to lock in on those.
But let's talk, fellas. Let's talk a little bit about the best dressed on draft night. And we've got the first of the 3 nominees. Each of us picked one out here. The first of the 3, right up on the TV. Hopefully you guys can see him all right there. Tell us about him.
Ahmad Sauce Gardner.
Tell us about Sauce now. Tell us about the fit.
All right, so he got on the Carolina blue suit.
Yep.
With the white undershirt.
Yep.
He clean. The little pen iced out. Never seen it before.
My eyes go straight to the chains. My eyes go straight to the chains.
He had it for a minute. It's still hard. That's a hard chain.
That's not new.
The Sauce bottle chain?
Is that new?
Come on, man.
That's dope.
Hard. Then he got the, flawless VVs in his mouth. And you can't see his shoes. He's stepping in Christian Louboutin red bottoms.
Okay.
Come on, man.
This is only like good high resolution image I could find here to throw on the TV for this.
I'm trying to tell you.
But
Sauce was sauced up.
That's your guy too, though, right?
That's my boy.
That's 100% your guy.
Oh, now, there you go.
Okay, now we've got Jimmy's pick for the day here.
That's Jimmy's
pick for the night.
That's
J-Dub's up
right
there.
there.
Break down the fit for J-Dub
so
here,
obviously
Jim.
you got the all red suit, and I believe those are some Jordans on his feet.
Those are
Louis Vuittons. They don't even know what you're talking about.
Hey, those are Louis Vuittons.
Those are Louis Vuittons.
Take the shades down. There we go. Give it a peek.
Pardon me, Tyshawn. I'm not a fashionista as you are.
He locked in on football. He locked in on fashion.
Here's the thing.
He does everything.
I'm locked in on the
personally.
coaching.
I liked it because the all red pops out. It's the color of blood. He's here to kill. He's coming for it all.
Correct answer there is that it is the color of D1 rejects, but that's a freebie.
Rejects?
It's a freebie.
I mean,
come on.
Dude.
That is what do you want?
Hey. I'm thinking a little outside the box here.
D1
rejects was the obvious answer. Of course.
Okay, fair. Now, is there? I guess I was gonna pose this question to you guys. Is there such thing as too flashy on draft night? Can you be too eccentric and too flashy?
Garrett Wilson was too flashy.
You think so? Right off the bat.
Did you see his suit?
I did.
I didn't see it. What is it?
It probably cost a lot of money.
Are you talking about? Is this the one I'm thinking of? It's the mismatched sleeves, correct?
It probably cost a lot. Wait,
pull it up. I'm curious. Now.
I can probably
because I missed some of the draft.
It was
I missed some
too much.
Talk to it about it. Time while I pull it up.
It was. He looked like a walking chessboard.
A walking chessboard.
And then he had on some big goofy Prada boots. It didn't look nice to me.
Okay.
He had on pearls instead of a chain. That was a nice switch up.
Oh wow.
Okay, so we got it up on the screen now. You can't see it too well on the. I got to get it better so you guys can see it full screen here, but you can see a little bit. It's switched up. He's got like the combat boots on. I don't know exactly what's going on with this.
He looks like he's like a break dancer. He's about to do like a break dancing video or something. I like the outfit. Like it's cool, but it's a little too much.
It's too much.
But I think it's really cool, of course.
You know what I think actually might ruin the outfit and bring it down is not the too much. I think the undershirt sells the outfit. I'm not rocking with this low cut U-neck that he's got going on or whatever that is. I feel like you need more of the high collared shirt to go with that. He's rocking pearls. What are those?
Yeah, them some pearls.
Pearls.
Pearls hard.
We mess with the pearls.
Some different. That's different.
It is different.
And that you can see by this suit, he's a different individual.
That's the goal though? I'm assuming, right? When you wear something like that, that's got to be the goal.
You want to draw attention to yourself by wearing something like that. Like obviously, he's trying to draw some sort of attention to himself.
No, 100%.
So.
You're right.
He's a much better football player than he is a dresser.
Hey, that's all right, man. Some guys, like I said, I guess we answered my question though. Like you can be indeed too flashy, right? Like that was the question. We answered that.
Yeah, you can be too flashy for sure.
A guy who wasn't too flashy, but I think hit all the right marks, fellas. Let's look on the screen here. Look at that man.
You see those glasses?
I wanted them to be a line. I wanted Thibodeau.
Are those Cartier glasses?
He thought he was going to Detroit.
He did.
He thought he was going with them glasses alone.
You know
he
what?
Thought he was going to Detroit.
Thibodeau wasn't the only one thought he was going to Detroit. I myself thought he was going to Detroit as well.
I thought he was going to
I'm
Detroit.
not mad with the Aiden Hutchinson pick. I'll talk about it right now. I think for them, that's a no-brainer pick. And I'm a State fan, take that into account. But I think for them, it's a no-brainer pick to get that kid. And he's an absolute beast. He's going to be hopefully a beast with the Lions for years to come. To me, that feels like the no-brainer pick. But there was a large part of me, man, that really wanted this man that's on the television right now to be in the Honolulu Blue. Look at this. To me, this is like
Dolce & Gabbana.
This is like black tie event. Like, dude just pulled up. He's the main protagonist in some type of movie. It's a spy movie. He's about to blow the party, but nobody knows it yet because he looks so clean. He could be an eccentric billionaire. He's playing the whole role right now. He even got the facial expression down. How do you do that?
He's dressing the part.
How do you do? He not even dressing there. It's like method acting with this guy.
Shorty clean.
He can do it all.
He clean.
He clean. So that was my pick for best dress. To me, Thibodeau rocked it out the park, bro. That red outline was nice. The glasses, fresh cut, the earrings. I don't know the earrings. All of it, man.
And to go along with his very clean get up, a very heartfort moment yesterday when the Make-A-Wish kid was like announcing the pick.
Oh, that was fantastic.
And he totally him and the Make-A-Wish kid like totally were broing out after.
Dude,
it's the little things, man.
Was fantastic.
It's the little things.
Yeah, when he comes up on the stage and he's going to shake Goodell's hand and this kid's loving it and he's freaking out.
He got in the picture.
Exactly, dude. And when they're holding the jersey and Thibodeau, the best thing about that is Thibodeau didn't like brush him off.
Oh,
he totally reciprocated the same energy.
Yeah, and
totally reciprocated it, and that was so cool.
Those are things you'd love to see. That's a high character guy, a high character individual.
It is,
right there.
bro.
Yeah.
It absolutely is, and I was really excited to see that. Like you said, one of my favorite moments from the draft. And I don't know if did you see the video of that kid? Wait, first of all, can we go back and say why did Goodell introduce him as?
Oh my God!
Kid?
Again, that's
Why
another
did
example.
He do that?
So off the air, prior to the podcast, we're talking about like our opinions on Roger Goodell, and I voiced that I'm not a big fan of Roger Goodell
for different reasons.
Yeah,
correct. Yeah,
but that's just a similar thing. Like, how are you going to address someone that's probably fighting a terminal illness as the Make-A-Wish kid?
Yeah, that seems almost like a parody type thing to say.
Yeah,
that seems awful.
Yeah, and he said like his name.
What else do you say?
But like you could say like
a representative from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Or
yeah,
he's no representative though. Like
representative is the wrong word, but he is a part of the Make-A-Wish. You know what I mean?
The word Make-A-Wish kid gets thrown around like when you're playing Fortnite. And you're in the lobby's really easy. Like, you say, oh, it's a Make-A-Wish lobby. It's kind of like a derogatory term towards people who are like ill.
Damn, I don't know what kind of lobbies you in.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? But like,
you know what
I mean?
I don't know what kind of kids you're gaming.
You guys know the vocabulary I'm trying to use. You want? Okay, all right.
I only game with stand-up men.
All right, bro.
And women sometimes. If I don't know if I'm playing Warzone. Scratch that whole. I'm not trying to
scratch the whole bit.
But Kayvon Thibodeau at 5 was a bad pick.
Whoa, where are we going with that? Where are we going with that? Where you got to back that up. You can't just make a claim
because they could have drafted the tackle from NC State at 5, and Kayvon Thibodeau would have still been there at 7.
Okay, but did they? Okay,
they passed up on the best lineman in the draft to draft a lineman that's not as good as him and not as versatile as him. It wasn't a bad pick. but they drafted
Yeah,
in
I'm saying
the
I don't
wrong
think it's
order
a bad pick at all. Right?
because the Panthers don't need a pass rusher, so they wouldn't have picked Thibodeau.
Yeah,
The
no, that's
Panthers
fair.
needed an offensive lineman.
That's fair. I think that's fair actually. But let's talk a little bit about Daniel Jones. The Giants are not bringing back Danny Dimes. New York decided to not bring back their QB after the 4th year of his rookie contract. This becomes, like we were saying, it's basically a prove-it year, right? It's do or die for Danny Dimes in New York, and if he doesn't perform this season, he's going to see himself go down to a second stringer somewhere in the league, right? There's not like especially with the quarterback market right now, it's not like, you don't perform here, somebody else will pick you up, somebody give you a chance. Right now, quarterback market is cutthroat in the NFL. We've got guys like Baker Mayfield might not be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Which blows my mind.
We have no idea. That makes no sense to me, but that is the reality of it right now. If that's a word, the reality, not reality.
There you go.
That is the reality of it right now.
I think you spell it the same way, but you pronounce it differently, I believe. There's an extra I. Reality. Correct.
You got it.
Correct. Yep.
You got
I was just thinking it in my head,
But really, Baker Mayfield might not be a starting quarterback in this league come fall, come season. We don't know what's going on with him. And I think it's very safe to say that Danny Dimes, if he does not perform very well in this last year of his rookie deal, right? Correct? Rookie deal.
He'll be packing his bags.
He'll be packing his bags and fighting to make a roster. I shouldn't say that.
He'll make rosters.
He'll be a backup.
He'll be a backup.
He'll make a roster on a bad team that has to switch quarterbacks at the end of the year.
This whole Daniel Jones thing kind of just screams Mitch Trubisky to me. Like he was like having like a wavering career as a starter. Never had like anything where it's like, okay, wow, let's pay this guy, let's make him our franchise quarterback. But not like a guy where you're like, okay, he can't play. Like Daniel Jones and Mitch Trubisky are both like below average NFL quarterbacks, but
Mitch couldn't play though.
See, I don't know.
Mitch Trubisky was terrible.
He had the 3rd highest quarterback rating in 2018.
QBR is such a skewed stat.
All right. I'm just saying. What did I just say? I just said Mitch Trubisky's a below average quarterback. That's all I said.
Garbage.
So for me, looking at this now, I think personally this is a win-win for New York because if Jones balls out, right, they can decide to put him on a franchise tag for the next year and keep him around at least while they figure out what the hell is going on in New York. Because I don't think they have any idea what's going on right now. And if he plays terrible, they don't have to pay him another year. They look like geniuses to me either way. Right? There's a way out of them, I think, in either end of this situation. Is this like the first time in a while that we've seen the Giants have made some competent moves as far as their signing of their players?
I mean, you dropped them in the 1st round, so you can't necessarily not give him that shot. I don't think Danny Dimes.
But
I don't think
the argument, I guess, was that he's been there long enough that he's had the time. Yeah, exactly. He's had the time to prove himself, and you know exactly like you said. You know what you're getting from this guy, and you don't see the product of his play improving enough to warrant a new contract. Basically, right?
Daniel Jones, he would have been great for the 2018 Chicago Bears.
You think so?
You just need a game manager. That's what Daniel Jones won't win a game for you.
Yeah, like a Goff.
He's Jared Goff. That is Daniel Jones.
I take Jared Goff. I take Jared Goff.
He won't go out and
Danny
win a
Dimes.
game for you.
All right.
He won't go out and win a game for you, but if you put the right pieces around him and put him in you know what I'm saying? He's one of those quarterbacks you got to babysit. He's an Alabama quarterback. You put him around a bunch of other 5 stars and you make it easy for him. That's what he's a. You
say another Alabama quarterback? Is that the same category you put a guy like Jalen Hurts in? Is that something that I was going to say? He's the exception.
Jalen Hurts can make some plays.
Some.
He can.
I feel like he makes a lot of plays.
Jalen Hurts. He got to improve as a.
I think he's criminally underrated.
I think he's underrated too, but he still got to improve as a.
You know who looked really happy was AJ Brown to see that he was going to play with Hurts. You see that? Did you guys see that FaceTime call?
Ryan Tannehill is garbage.
That was hilarious. Yeah, well, and Brown, like you said, Brown has not had really many chances. How many catches did he have per game?
He was a little banged up last year.
I think it's in his career a handful of games where he had over 7 or 8 targets,
which is wild for the athlete that he is.
AJ Brown's a really special player, and he has to get the ball more. It's plain and simple. How about Philly? I think they're gonna win that division. I think. I don't know, dude.
The division is competent.
I like Philly a lot. I like Philly a lot this year. I think Jalen. It's definitely a proven year for Jalen Hurts. Let's not forget they made the playoffs last year. It comes down
to quarterback play in that division, and Dak Prescott is still miles and miles ahead of Jalen Hurts.
Can Carson Wentz come back and actually be a competent quarterback?
Carson Wentz sucks. Carson Wentz sucks. He's horrible. Carson Wentz is horrible at playing quarterback. That is Washington. That's the worst acquisition of the offseason. The worst acquisition of the offseason was Carson Wentz. The worst.
You think so?
I cannot say enough about how much I do not think Carson Wentz is good at football. I'm not a fan of this.
Kobe,
Simple.
do you watch Hard Knocks?
Yeah, I watched a bit of Hard Knocks. I haven't, but I did not watch the midseason one.
When you
I gotta
watch
see
Hard
that.
Knocks,
I gotta see that.
like, it makes every player seem like a good player.
So see, I'm saying
You
this,
watch
and I
Hard
didn't
Knocks,
watch it. I didn't watch it.
doesn't make Carson Wentz look like a good football player. When you watch Hard Knocks, it makes you a fan of that team and those players.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I
it
wanted
didn't
to
do that
see
with
Dak Prescott
Oh,
succeed this year.
Yeah,
I watched it. Like, you watch Carson Wentz, he's a great man. He's not a good man. He's a great man.
okay.
He is a terrible NFL quarterback. This will be the last time he goes into week 1 as a starter in his career.
He can't move.
Let's talk about a guy that may be fighting for one of those spots, a guy that's been around the league. Let's look on the other side, I guess the downside of the Giants roster. You know who else they have at quarterback? Tyshawn?
Who?
New York Giants?
Tyrod Taylor.
Ooh.
Tyrod Taylor
okay.
is on the roster in New York right now, but
I love
still
that.
with Tyrod, a competent backup. We've seen him. We've seen, more importantly, I think, the I don't even know if like the right word, like the offspring of Tyrod Taylor, the guys that started underneath him, guys like Herbert, guys like Baker, right? Those guys have
Davis
gone on to do
Mills.
crazy things.
Lamar Jackson too, right?
Yeah,
he was there like the year before Lamar got there.
But Tyrod Taylor is an established guy in this league that's went and won games. He's a guy that's respected in a lot of locker rooms around the league, right? For me, that's super important. Yeah. And I guess it's a security blanket for the Giants. What I'm trying to say is they'd have a competent guy in that locker room that's probably well respected, a vet at this point. This guy's been in the league for a while. He's a veteran at this point. He's probably being paid close to vet min, just to keep him around. But I was still surprised they didn't go QB with either pick 5 or pick 7. I guess that just speaks to what they thought the talent level of those quarterbacks was, right?
Yeah, for sure. Because the first quarterback didn't go to a pick 20.
Exactly. So it seems like a smart move then, because if they would have gone and grabbed a quarterback at pick 5 or pick 7, and then another one didn't go off the board for another 10, 15 picks, like they would have looked real dumb for that. But
a quarterback didn't go in round 2.
Nothing.
In the first
still,
3
Malik
picks,
Willis is still on the board.
Yeah, in the first 3 picks, the quarterback is not gone.
Wow. That is wild. They're further than 3 picks in now, dude. I don't know.
In the second round or in the third round.
Oh, third round.
3 picks into the third round.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, second round should be over by now.
Yeah, the second round over. Silly goose.
Lions took a defensive end from Kentucky.
Yeah, never heard of him.
And what's his name was still on the board. Nakobe Dean was still on the board.
Nakobe Dean is 5'11".
Okay, but
I don't care.
People
Size
were
is
talking about this guy
sports.
like he was going to be a lot. Like when the Lions were supposed to have the 32nd overall pick, people were talking like, don't count on Nakobe Dean because he's not going to be there at 32.
You don't pick a pick a situational player in the first round.
He's not a situation. He's an every down player.
No, he's not.
Really?
No, he's not.
I'm getting tired of these takes from Tyshawn. Like, listen, bro, Nakobe Dean. Like, listen, I don't care if he's 5'11". Like, in my opinion, size is the most overrated aspect of sports. I truly believe that.
Not when you play middle linebacker.
All right, bro. Okay.
Like Jimmy,
All right.
go watch film.
I will.
Like,
believe me, I saw
film.
Nakobe Dean's film. He's an incredible player, and
watch him in the run game.
Okay.
I want him.
Right.
I want him.
Watch
man.
him in the run game.
All right.
I want him.
He will be a third down linebacker, one that can pass rush, or you can send him on a blitz. He cannot play in early downs.
Really?
He too little. He's gonna get washed in the run game.
What does he weigh? You know what he weighs off the top of your head?
Like
I'm
220.
gonna pull it up.
230.
I'm
He's
pull it up.
5'11". He's little. He's a little like he
220. That's pretty. Yeah, I mean,
Nakobe Dean in real life could play safety.
Well, I think that's a testament to
The
Are you just saying
athlete he
I'd
is?
say the athlete he is. That's
It
what I
ain't
was
even
gonna
that.
say.
He didn't even test, so they don't know truly how good of an athlete he is.
He didn't test.
No, he didn't test.
I did not know that.
6 foot 225.
Do you
He's
think?
not 6 foot. He is 5'11".
So hold on.
It says 6 feet.
Do you think when you
I
say
don't know.
he didn't test, was he not at the combine?
He didn't test at the combine.
So I
He didn't test at the pro day.
didn't know that. So why would he not do that? That's a good question.
I guess he was hurt.
Okay, so that's got to be a huge reason then if guys can't get to see him perform at those type of environments that he would drop so far. I'd imagine, right?
You didn't watch Jamison Williams test, and he went at 12.
I like the combines. I mean, it's important, but at the same time, like, what are you going to see at the combine you can't see on film, or like of like a 30 game career of someone in college? You know what I
How
mean?
truly fast somebody is.
Okay, but I mean, I'd rather just watch film and see how good they are, how fast they are. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's one day at the combine. What do they run? 2 or 3 40s?
And you watch film and you watch them get washed in the run game.
All right. So when we're sitting here in December and Nakobe Dean's about to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, we're gonna come back to this.
Wow.
I can guarantee
Wow.
you anything. Nakobe Dean is not. Nakobe Dean won't play on first and second down.
All right.
Let alone win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I see your point. Like I see your. I'm not ignoring you. I see the point, and I understand. Like that's the type of guy maybe that someone wants him to be. But I think, for me, I think why not?
He
you say
is
his size,
a problem.
But
he's a problem.
I think he's a guy. When you look at his film, and I have seen some of his tape, he's a guy that can go sideline to sideline, which is super valuable at this level.
For sure.
Because
I'm not
NFL's all about
saying
speed.
Nakobe Dean is a bad player.
But it's just like, how many teams do you play where a punishing run game has been the focal point of their offense? We've gotten away from that so
At this
much.
point,
the defense has to mirror that.
It's not about being a punishing run game where you run it down people's throat, but teams establish a run game. Even the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs, they would run all over Nakobe Dean. He's too small.
Interesting.
For an offensive guard.
No, yeah.
Or a
I know what you
center
mean.
to be running at you. And he can't play outside linebacker. He'll get washed out there too.
Well, the outside linebacker part 2 is where the height comes into be, I think, even more of a factor, right? You talk about coming off the edge and getting hands in passing lanes and dropping back and being able to fill space.
I think he's a phenomenal football player.
You guys can see the wingspan
You feel me?
on the YouTube right now.
Are you familiar with someone by the name of Mike Singletary by chance, Tyshawn?
Mike Singletary?
Yeah.
Mike Singletary
I've heard of
played
him.
in
I've
the
heard of him.
1980s.
So the first ballot Hall of Fame linebacker for the Chicago Bears, one of the greatest linebackers to ever play the game, is 5'11".
You're comparing Mike Singletary to Nakobe Dean.
No, that is
Yes,
not.
you
No,
are.
no, no,
He's
no.
just using an example.
I was using
Using an
height. I
example.
was using height
Yeah.
as the example here. You're over analyzing this guy's height and his size.
Look at the physical freaks that we have in the NFL today.
All right.
I see both sides. Of that, and we could probably go on for a while with that one. But fella
He got saved by his D-line.
That's-
Nakobe Dean got saved by
my
his D-line.
God.
and that Georgia team, man, it was like watching the 2018, 2019 LSU. what was it?
5 defensive
Yeah.
players drafted in the first round, and he wasn't one of them.
It was wild. Yeah, they picked his buddy.
He
before
wasn't.
him.
He wasn't one of those.
Two-
guys.
two linebackers, right?
They
Two
picked
linebackers.
another linebacker on his team before him.
Does where you get drafted translate to how good you do in the league? No,
Probability. It's a probability.
No,
thing, but
of
yeah,
course.
I mean, yeah.
Statistically, more first rounders are gonna have better careers than guys later. But does that mean that Nakobe Dean's not gonna have this great career? No,
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
I think
You're right.
Here's the thing. Let me backtrack a little bit. Do I personally think he's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year? He wouldn't be my pick, but would I be surprised if he does? Absolutely not, because he's a really good player.
Fair.
I think a guy like Jermaine Johnson, all these guys are these just freaks on defense. I think
we have-
there's a lot of guys that could win it.
To
there's
me,
just a
we
lot of
had
talent on
3
defense.
big name defensive ends go in that top, that top 7 picks, and
I think the first 4 were all defensive guys.
Yeah, the first.
I'm just
four
talking about
are
strictly
defensive.
defensive ends.
Yeah.
I'm talking strictly defensive
yeah.
ends. And that to me is a position right now in the NFL that is very flashy. If you can get after the quarterback, 1, you're going to make a lot of money. 2, you're going to make a lot of headlines. And for me, those are 2 things that help move the ticker as far as defensive rookie of the year, right, or defensive player of the year, even for that matter. And I would not be surprised to see whether it be Walker, whether it be Hutch, whether it be Thibodeau, to see one of those guys just break out, have a good stretch. When you're playing that position, I feel like I shouldn't say you don't even have a good season, but if you go on a tear for 6 to 7 games and still produce in that second half of the season, you can go ahead and win an award like that. You can almost be locked up for an award like that.
For sure.
So that might just be the position. I don't know, but I think that's about all we've got for today's pod, fellas. I might take off the. Woo!
Yeah, and that's a whole different.
Dude, it's a whole different
It's
world.
a whole different world. It really
I think
is.
the sunglasses might become a reoccurring theme. I can't even lie to you.
They might have to. I felt really good in the sunglasses today.
I felt at home. I can't even lie to you. I felt.
And you know what? We look good in them too.
You know what? We do look good.
Yeah.
Now.
No, I'm putting them back.
You putting them back on?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It just feels weird now.
Put them back on. It feels like comfortable without them.
Much better.
Look at
Much
that.
better, yeah.
Throw them back on. Give the people what they want.
Oh yeah.
Fellas, it's been real. If you have made it this far, we appreciate you. We
Hey,
appreciate you a
shout
lot,
out,
man.
Shout out my mom and dad. Shout out my sister. Shout out Scooter, my dog, Golden Retriever.
Shout out all.
She just turned 11 this week.
Ty.
Props to Scooter.
Shout out Nakobe Dean.
Shout out Nakobe Dean.
Shout out
man.
my granny.
Shout out.
Granny, if you listening, I'm coming to see you soon. But if you're not listening, you won't know. So I know if you know that I'm coming to see you or not.
That's awesome. But as always, you can watch us on YouTube. If you have, thanks for tuning in. We had a really fun one today, fellas, and it's been fantastic. The quality of our conversations, the quality of our episodes is only going to increase from here on out. So we appreciate you all with sticking with us. If you do enjoy what you listen to, damn, just tell somebody about us, man. Tell somebody about us. Show it. Upward trajectory.
Upward trajectory. You see this?
I see it.
D1.
Let me get another angle.
Division I Rejects is like a stock right now. This is going to keep going up.
And you
up,
better
and up,
get
and up, and up,
on right now.
Now when we got Jimmy Martin comparing Nakobe Dean to Mike Singletary.
All right, we'll leave it. No, that's it. Division I Rejects. Check us out. Spotify. You can watch us on there. Apple Podcasts, YouTube, you know where, Twitter, Instagram. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Devil's Advocate.
Signing out.